Alright, today I'm going to show you, well, I'm going to take time off of making these delightful beauties and explain to you some good stuff. About 4 months ago, I made a paracord bullwhip. It was lots of fun. It was a lot of weaving. I actually titled that video, "The Madness of Making a Paracord Bullwhip." With that in mind, what kind of horrible masochist character would make multiples of these? So my favorite way to film actually hitting something with a whip is to have the target, the camera, and then yourself, or whoever is using it, basically have the target in the middle. This will keep the whip in frame as much as possible. Even if you have a relatively good high-speed camera like I have, it's the best way to go. So now when doing the basically the cracks, there's two general techniques that are really good for any users. There is the big, long, circular technique that was actually designed by the ancient Egyptians, which is the two big circles coming down. There's one problem with the Egyptian technique. It's a pain to learn, literally. Ow. Yeah, that can happen. So basically, I'm going to show you the step-by-step instructions on how to do the original and the basics. Then I'm going to show you the Anthony DeLongis method, which is much easier to learn and also much more accurate for beginning users. So the Egyptian is a big circle. Bring it back. Just that move. Basically make a teardrop with your hand. It's a little more risk than you think. People say there's no risk involved, but that's really the method. If you're doing any kind of camera work, any kind of film work, the Egyptian technique is better because it uses a lot more of the screen. Alright. Now the DeLongis method, developed about 20-25 years ago by film whip safety guy Anthony DeLongis, is basically you bring it up and bring it down. Bring it up where you want it, bring it down where you want it. And also you can see how it's going to have a little bit more ease, a lot less factors involved, as opposed to another trick that is at the core of a lot of other techniques you can use is the quick draw. Basically, I have moving consistent circles, all moving out, all of them basically in an outward spiral, so that when I come back, it's actually going to unspool in midair, and that way I don't have to go with the full. Actually, it's going to basically take, in my case, I can actually keep it under a second for the full strike. For this, we'll be doing high-speed shots to show you what it looks like in intense speed. Now, whether you are using the DeLongis method or the more classic Egyptian style, you still want to create an ever confining circle along the line. So when you go for the side, basically side method, it kind of comes up this direction, comes back that direction. Comes up this direction, goes down that direction. The DeLongis method is clearly simpler because it has a lot less variables. It's up, direct. The Egyptian is much bigger and much louder. It makes a much better sound in my opinion. Much more fun. Again, you're going to hurt yourself doing this. This little string, this is literally a fishing line that you, it breaks about 40 times a day if you use a lot. It will cut you, okay? You notice I'm wearing a nice little hoodie, I'm always wearing safety goggles. I've gotten kind of, well, more or less gotten past the point of ow. Even I have to admit, it's still funny. So, my favorite trick, by far, falls in the category of absolutely no real world use, but it looks cool and definitely looks good on camera. It's called a blind circular technique, a blind Egyptian technique. Basically, you start with the target behind you, rotate out, bring it, and then smack the target as if you had only just seen it. It looks cool, but again, there's really no point to this. It's simply a film technique, which a lot of film techniques are. So, this method is actually pretty simple. But again, you are going to hurt yourself doing this. Please understand, I got a fat lip today doing this, okay? So, but again, you do this on your own, that's your business. Don't try this at home unless you really must, which I must because I'm a crazy person. But for this particular trick, this amount of speed is not necessary. Actually, a little bit less speed you have, the better off you'll be. Bring it up, nice 45-degree angle, tilt your head, catch it. So, to do this, lean your head away from where the action's going to be, which is always good advice no matter where you are. Bring it up, over, and hopefully catch it. The way you actually catch it is that you bring your fingers spread out, and whichever you feel the hit, snap your fingers shut.